Yo, peace and love, everybody. Welcome to Hey Rule Study Hall. Today, we're gonna be dealing with the player versus user. Which one are you? Now, here's my reference right here. Is Everything Is Sex by T.C. Carrier. This is a very powerful book. And just to kind of give y'all a heads up, this book is deals with a lot of metaphysical things. You feel me? So it's not just about the actual physical aspect of sex or whatever. You know, got a little bit of neuroscience in here, got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You feel me? But we dealing with the player versus the user. Which one are you? Player versus user. Which one are you? Now I'm gonna read the back of the book and then I'm gonna dive straight into it. So let's get it. Now we got some good news and we got some bad news. Okay. We got some bad news and we got some good news. We're gonna go with the bad news first. Now, we are living in a computer simulation that keeps us trapped by relentlessly feeding our minds with an illusion. We as human specimens internalize this elaborate hoax as our reality and go against our own best interest. We compete against each other in a virtual world whose mission is to keep us preoccupied with our own enslavement. How can a holographic illusion keep billions of souls trapped against their will without them even knowing it? Simple. Keep feeding their egos. The player is the ego, the user is the soul. So keep that in mind, right? Let's get it. Now, the good news, here's the good news, y'all. Check it out. This book, right here, as you can see, this book holds the secret cheat code and escape plan to this virtual prison planet. The blueprint to gaining access to your freedom in this simulation is magic, the forgotten name for love. You feel me? Go buy the book because it's a chapter that's dedicated to that, to what was just said. So here's the book, Everything Is Sex, by T.C. Carrier, T.C. space Carrier. Shout out to T.C. Carrier. I got about 5 of your books. You know what I'm saying? Amazing literature, man. Amazing, a lot of powerful information. So we're gonna get straight to it, fam. Let's get it. Player versus user. Which one are you? Okay. Now we got some questions we gotta ask. We gotta ask ourselves these questions. If you got a notebook, y'all can write these questions down and y'all can answer it in your own personal time. There's some questions that need to be asked. If we are living in a virtual simulated world, how did we get here? That's a serious question. The second question is, who would pull such a cruel hoax on an innocent soul? Let me make it bigger. Hold on. Let me get off the camera. Let me take this off. Hold on. Let me take this off. All right. There we go. Now the third question, right? Why would somebody want to subject any person under such dubious and impossible situations? Right? If you screenshot this and ask ourselves this question, because these is real serious. When I first bought this book, when I got to this section of the book, oh my goodness, it changed my life. It helped me heal from a lot because it started making me question like a lot of things. You feel me? Like, damn, I really chose to come here, but it's gonna get deeper, y'all. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Now, we are all Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, facing this nightmarish world without a yellow brick road to lead us back home. What type of entity would pull such a horrendous trick as dropping us inside a computer simulation and leave us to die or lead a mundane and meaningless life? As quiet as it is kept, we put ourselves in this artificial computer simulated world. We are the ones responsible for us being in this virtual hell. We didn't put ourselves here for any particular reason at all. We had a reason and purpose for doing so. You feel me? That's true. That's true. Now, let's go over the specifics as to why we would put ourselves through all this trauma and stress, knowing what type of environment would serve as our life or more specific, death sentence. Okay? Let me fix this. Hold on. I don't need that right there. All right. Now, many religions, such as Hinduism, believe in reincarnation. They believe that the spirit incarnates into our physical body so that it can learn the life lesson it needs to transcend further into the spiritual dimension after we have become deceased. You feel me? This physical world is a training class where we need to learn specific lessons so we can overcome them. In conquering these lessons, we raise our frequencies to a level that can attain a higher state of spiritual existence called heaven. If we don't learn these lessons within our lifetime, we are doomed to repeat them as we will keep reincarnating into this physical dimension until that specific lesson is addressed and learned. You feel me? I'm gonna just keep reading because I don't want to get off track. I don't got that much time, so I'm not trying to rush. And I'm not trying to read super duper fast, but I'm gonna try to save as much commentary as possible. I'm just dealing with the information, and it's 11:11 a.m. right now. I just looked at the clock, so let's keep it pushing. Now, this computer simulated world is a classroom for our spirits to overcome their lower level consciousness so that we can transcend to higher spiritual dimensions the moment our class ends at our death. If we failed in our class, we are doomed to repeat it, as our spirit will incarnate into another physical body specifically designed for us to face that which keeps us imprisoned in this virtual world. Now, for clarity, right? Let's break down how we sent ourselves into this virtual hell on purpose and under what pretenses. Okay. Now, this is a book recommendation. I would highly recommend getting this book. Cold Cracker presents the metaphysical blueprint to decoding Hollywood's evil genius. This is a very powerful, powerful book. It got some powerful information in there, and it also decodes the Matrix, the Avatar, um, Wally or Wally, yeah, Wally, that movie, and yeah, go check that book out, man. Highly recommended, good read. I got this book right here. Now, getting back on point, true knowledge of self. Our ancient ancestors knew a secret that has been kept hidden from the general population. Above every temple doorway, they had a saying that said, "Know thyself." One of the components of knowing thyself was the fact that they knew that everyone is born a twin. Keep that in mind, that twin, okay? Keep that in mind, y'all. This goes back to our law of gender that states that everything has a masculine component and a feminine aspect. For humans, this law can be broken down to having a higher feminine self and a lower masculine self. We are made up of the two principles. The feminine or higher self views itself as a spirit having a human experience. The masculine or lower self, otherwise known as the ego, views itself as a human animal that has spiritual moments. Okay? Now, I want y'all to pay close attention to this right here. I want y'all to pay attention to like what hand, see the right hand is placed. See the left hand, see the right hand, see how both of their left foot, all three of their left foot is forward. I want y'all to pay attention. It's a lot of symbolism. It's a lot of symbolism in this. We're gonna get into it. Now, these two principles are always competing, fighting, typo, fighting for our time and energy on how we define ourselves and our reality. This is the internal struggle of all humans. The battle has always been from within our own psyche. The only true enemy or nemesis anybody ever has is themselves. The image on the right will be explained from a higher perspective on the next slide. And this is another book y'all can go get. It's from the same author. This book right here, all the youth, all the black youth need to read this book. I read this when I was like in my late 20s. You know, I read this like in my late 20s as an adult. You know, it's like a rites of passage. You know, period. But the reawakening of the warrior DNA in black men. So let's keep it pushing right now. This Ramesses III. Ramesses III is crowned by Heru on the left, as you can see, and Set on the right. Heru, representing your spiritual self, housed in the right hemisphere. As you can see, his left hand is placed on the right hemisphere of his brain, right? And Set, representing your lower self, housed in the left hemisphere of your brain. As you can see, Set with the right hand on the left hemisphere of his brain. Okay? Now, let's keep it pushing because I got to hurry up. I'm going to have to do this in parts also. Now, it was our higher selves that sent our spirits down to this virtual world and incarnated into our physical bodies. We will call our spiritual or higher selves the user part of us. The user in us, as in video games, creates an avatar or physical body for us to possess so we can be inserted into this computer simulation, otherwise known as hell. Here is the definition of the word. Now, avatar, right? You know how to throw that in there. Now, a manifestation of a deity or released soul in bodily form on earth and incarnate a divine teacher. Number 2, an incarnation, embodiment, or manifestation of a person or idea. Number 3, an icon or picture representing a particular person in computer games, internet forums, etc. Okay, now let me see where I'm at to stop at. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna stop on slide 23, y'all. because once I get to 23, that's when it's gonna get super deep, and I'm gonna need as much time as possible. I'm kind of pressed on time, so let's keep it pushing. We all have a divine purpose for being here. In a video game, the user will create his avatar according to the skills and physical components he needs to best serve him in the video game. For example, if I am playing a war game, I will create my avatar to be a good soldier. My avatar will be physically strong. He will be an expert at weaponry and physical combat. He will be courageous and poised in battle. He will be strategic and trustworthy. He will never give up. He will have excellent stamina and leadership skills. You feel me? Period. Period. I would want that for my character too. So you feel me? Now let's keep it pushing. The user in the video game will give his avatar all the skills and resources he needs to best serve out his mission in life, which is to be the best soldier possible and ultimately die in battle for the greater good of his country. It is the same for the user side of us. Our higher selves created our avatar, which is our physical body, to best serve uh, our purpose in the simulation. Let me add, hold on. I forgot a word. Hold on. Our purpose. There we go. I had to catch my breath. Hold on. Let's get it. That purpose is to learn our life lessons so as to raise our consciousness in an effort to transcend to a higher spiritual dimension at the end of our avatar's life. You feel me? So the user part of us will pick our parents in the virtual world. We will choose our own mothers and fathers according to their specific genetic material as well as their level of consciousness. Just like in the video game, we will create our avatar according to the skills we need to acquire that which avatar according to the skills we need to acquire that which best suits us to learn discipline and self-reliance. I, the user, will pick a parent whose DNA is lacking in these areas. So my avatar will be forced to acquire these character traits on his own. So the father I pick for him may have a genetic strain in him that struggles with addiction and shyness. This will force my avatar to confront these issues to gain discipline and self-reliance, or if he fails, he will have to come back and do it again in another lifetime. Now, if my avatar needs to learn to be humble and think of others before himself, I will pick his parents who have a particular skill that is exceptional. Let's say his father and mother were elite and well-accomplished professional athletes. Chances are they will pass on to my avatar these exceptional genes from and will have the potential to be better than the both of them in the athletic arena. Right? Now, fame, fortune, and celebrity come with being a highly successful athlete. My avatar will be confronted with the issues of being humble and thinking of others before himself. If he fails to check his ego and learn these lessons, he will be forced to be reinserted in the computer simulation and repeat another life cycle. Okay? So, when you see, when the user part of us creates our avatar, he will give us parents who will exemplify the opposite of what we need to acquire to find that which we need inside of ourselves first. For our avatar to find out who he is, he must first understand what he is not. In this way, his true life lessons will be exposed for him to correct. Okay, so the user part of us created our avatar by picking our parents. The user has also created the environment we will be exposed to growing up by picking the socioeconomic background and race of our parents. So now what happens? Now this is important, y'all. It's now time for our avatar to be inserted into the simulation. Once we are born into the simulation, we lose all recollection and memory of us as the user who created us in the first place. We now define ourselves not from within the user side of us, but by that which we can see, touch, taste, feel, hear, or smell in the virtual simulated environment. We now only know and define ourselves by our external environmental or the programming of what the computer simulation wants us to believe. We now embrace the other side of us, which we will call the player. So now the player twin is only motivated by what the simulation has programmed him to believe. He is now manipulated by the simulation to be exclusively concerned with acquiring food, shelter, clothing, transportation, safety, and avoiding pain. See? This book get deep, y'all. Now, let's keep it pushing. Acquiring these attributes now becomes his sole purpose in life. They are his only reason for living. He forgets why his user twin sent him down here in the first place. Now his only motivation is surviving in a world that is artificially simulated and doesn't really exist. It is up for you to decide which twin you want to embrace, the user or spiritual aspect of you, or the player or physical side of you. Let's keep it pushing. A few more slides and we almost done. Yep. I'm going to 23 and I'm going to do a part 2. Okay. Now, in the ancient chakra system of Kemet, represented in the image right here, you see energy centers of consciousness. They are depicted as different colored vortexes of light, starting at the base of the spine and continuing up to the crown of the head. Okay, let's keep it pushing. The first 3 lower chakras or energy levels of consciousness represents the player, twin in us, right? This is where our lower self or ego resides. It is only interested in what it can touch, taste, feel, hear, or smell. Their reality is only motivated by finding shelter, transportation, clothing, food, avoiding pain, and finding safety inside the computer simulation. Last but not least, the user twin in us or our higher self starts at the 4th chakra level, which is located at the heart and continues to the crown of the head. The user twin knows that we are living in an illusion and only puts stock in learning his life lessons so that one can transcend to higher levels of consciousness when their avatar body is no longer viable. So I'm going to end on this slide because, as you can see from slide 24, I'm going to give y'all a little preview before I end it. I'm going to have to go from slide 24 all the way to 39. And I want to do it in parts, okay? Because this requires a lot of energy. So dealing with this slide 23 right here, as y'all can see, the heart chakra is the gateway to your higher self. So keep that in mind. If your heart, if you cold-hearted, if you've been through a lot and you just cold-hearted, I want you to just hear this, right? One must heal and one must open and unlock and tune their heart chakra. Because if you have a closed heart chakra, just imagine imagine you watering your grass or watering a plant with a water hose and you bend the water hose and the water stop coming out, or it's like barely coming out, or it's dripping. You see what I'm saying? So think of your body like an instrument, and when you in your chakras, it's something that one must tune in order to emit a harmonic frequency to one's environment. And I'm also just giving y'all a little preview. I'm working on some other things. I'm working on it's another presentation that I'm working on. It's titled the 7 circuits of the brain. I'm gonna be sharing some information on that, and it's one that's gonna be super duper powerful, and it's dealing with the law of vibration and the law of attraction. So more content coming soon. Let me cam back up. Let me see. Hold on. So just letting y'all know, is more content coming soon. This video took 18 minutes. This is the time frame I'm trying to keep my videos. My first video was over an hour, but I had to get that information out because I did a debate on Bigo, and it motivated me to move from Bigo to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because it was only like 6-minute rounds, so I didn't have enough time to get all my information out. So and if y'all haven't already, go check out my first ever video that I uploaded. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I hope the rest of y'all day is the best of y'all day. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Peace.